Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Thursday afternoon. Happy game day. Obviously, now sitting 7 hours and 24 minutes until kickoff for the first leg of the Europa League. So I'm just going to give my last minute thoughts, as I always do on game day. My last minute thoughts ahead of such an important game. But we also have some interesting reports surrounding Manchester City being interested in Destiny Udogie. We're also going to be talking about Mickey Van Aven's agent doing a bit of a Radu Dragusin's agent, and why there's nothing to get yourself wound up about. You'll see what I mean when I get to it, all right? But obviously, massive game tonight. I've probably stressed it now 3 or 4 different times in the space of about 4 or 5 different days. But it's finally here. It's game day, and it's always that weird lull now between here where we're like, oh, it's game day and the sun's out, and it's a lovely day to. Still got over 7 hours until we get to bloody kickoff. And I think once we get to that final 7 to 8 period where that's like the last hour until kickoff is, the anxiety of game day kicks in. But when it's a huge game for your season, these are the games that the anxiety levels just jump that extra sort of 10-20%. So looking forward to it. But let's jump in and let's start with some Destiny Udogie flavored news, because it's a weird one. All right, I'm going to be honest with you. It's a weird one. I didn't expect it. And you're probably thinking, who's this come from, Andy? I'll bloody tell you. It's Fabrizio Romano, who said that understand that Manchester City will sign a new fullback in the summer. They've now added Destiny Udogie to that shortlist. It's not an easy deal, as Spurs see Udogie as a key player, but City like him. Also, Cambiasso from Juventus is still on that list. Now, when we first signed Destiny Udogie, and obviously that sort of first season where he had a really, really great season, Destiny obviously had a lot of admirers, you could tell. He was one of the best left backs in the league last season, hands down, categorically, no denying it. And I think a lot of people sort of looked at Manchester City, looked at Gavardio, who's played left back, and gone, that's still a centre back playing left back. And recently, if you've watched Man City, Nico O'Reilly, who's a central midfielder, has played left back, and Gavardio has actually gone into centre back and actually had quite a decent amount of success at centre back. So I think they're probably looking to add a left back in there. It being Destiny Udogie actually doesn't surprise me. Now, key thing about Destiny, 22 years old, still years before he gets anywhere near his prime, but his contract expires in the summer of 2030. 2030. We're in 2025. The guy's got a 5-year contract still to go. So look, Manchester City, if you want Destiny Udogie, my God, that 50 million that you paid for Kyle Walker all those years ago, just know that might get Destiny Udogie's boots. It won't get you anything more than that. It's going to cost an absolute blinking fortune to get Destiny Udogie out of this club. I think this season's been a bit of a struggle for him due to obviously the big injuries that he had in the summer. Not last summer, sorry. He had it the spring of last season. Obviously not having a pre-season, having invasive quad surgery, which people seem to forget about. They just think, because he's a footballer, he just bounces back to 100% within a second or two. Without a pre-season, without a tour and things like that, it's going to take you a while to get going. And we threw him at the deep end, and no wonder he struggled at first. We've seen some flashes here and there where you've gone, that's the Destiny Udogie that we all know. That's the Destiny Udogie who's fantastic. The issue has been consistency, but then you could say that for the rest of the team. The team hasn't developed any consistency this season. So I think, probably going into the end of this season, going into pre-season, next year, I will be very much standing on the hill of, you will see the Destiny Udogie that you saw last season, which is a recurring theme of a really, really, really good left back, rather than left back here where you've seen some good, you've seen some bad, By the way, good morning all. I've missed a few of you. Let me quickly go and get you all. Spurs, Boris, EZ, Yannick, as Aussie Ange to Steve, Sonius, Jake, James, Terry. Terry, how you been, my friend? You all right? And James, been a while since I've seen you two. Annie, just remember to keep a cool head throughout the day. Remember, keep calm and drink summer fruit squash. I don't have any summer fruit squash with me, but trust me, it will be flowing like a waterfall. It's nectar. But yeah, no, I don't see Destiny moving on whatsoever. Like I said, 5-year contract. Good luck to you. If Spurs are selling, it's because Manchester City have paid through the absolute nose to get him, and they won't do that. They won't. I think they. I feel like they're more likely to go to a Cambiasso. I mean, let's take it on a different journey. What if Spurs did sell? Then I would want Spurs to be lumping some absolute cash on a left back, and it might be Cambiasso for us, even. So he won't be going anywhere though. 5-year contract. He probably could do with being at a club for a little while now, building back his fitness form and strength and things like that. Like I said, against Chelsea, we saw some good, we saw some bad, and that's the issue. In a game, you're going to see some good from him. You'll see some bad from him at the same time. We're going to try and need to build that consistency. And I think he will start tonight. I really do think he will start tonight. And I'm expecting a big old game from Destiny Udogie. I'm one of Destiny's biggest supporters, by the way. If you can't work that out, I am. I think he is a fabulous footballer when fit and healthy. I feel for him a little bit on this season, how it's gone for him. But when fit and healthy, I think he is a phenomenal footballer. And I also think if we gave him another left back to play there, even if it is Jed Spence, and maybe you go and get another right back. But if you gave him someone that he can rotate with, I think you get a better quality version. It's like when I talk about Dominic Solanke. You'll get a better Dominic Solanke if he's not having to play the volume of football that he's needed to play this season. So that's my thinking about that. JMP, mate, how are you, mate? 60, 80, 90 to 100. Somewhere between Aussie Ange Hater and Peter Pan. What a name. Between those guys is probably where his value would be. What did you miss? Destiny Udogie on Man City's shortlist. Let's move over to a little bit of Mickey van der Ven agent-flavoured news. Now, look, before I tell you this, just want everyone to take a step back. Hands off the keyboard, or hands off the keyboard on your phone or iPad. It's an agent talking. Even with Radu's agent, they are supposed to talk up their agent, their player. Keep them in the good news cycle. Keep people talking about them in a good way. It drums up more interest in them. It drums up maybe a new contract. It drums up more money. Okay. They're doing what they should do as agents. It doesn't mean the player 100% agrees with it. Radu's never come out and said, I can't wait to get back to Italy. Mickey van der Ven talks about how much he loves playing at Spurs. But his agent did say, when he was talking about Real Madrid, Mickey also has the level to play one day in a big one like Real Madrid. In addition, Madrid needs a player behind their characteristics. Now, look, I mean, Real Madrid, we're flattered at the fact that you want both of our you want one of our centre-backs and the other one apparently is good enough to play for you. You've got Spurs fans that think neither of them are good enough to play for Real Madrid, which that's always interesting. But look, ironically, guys, you're looking at a team that right now is sitting near enough mid to bottom half of the table in the Premier League. Maybe if they were eating paella and things and things like that, maybe that's where they'd be healthier. Maybe what they're struggling with is they're having fry-ups and full Englishes and like roast dinners. Maybe if they were having paella, maybe that's how they would develop it and be fitter and their muscles work better. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but we'll sort of see. Oh, well, I'm glad you're back, James. I'm glad you're back, dude. Simba, you're right. Singularity. So look, on that, I don't actually have an issue with what you said. I think people will have an issue, but I think that's kind of overreacting to it. What my only issue with all of these transfer stories is, why on earth are they coming out on the day of one of the biggest games of our season? Why are they coming out? I mean, there's reports that Thiago Motta could be an option for Spurs as manager next season. Why is that coming out today? I have no interest in managers next season. I have a manager now, and I have a game today. I could not give a flying monkeys about who you would like as a manager next season. I don't care. I actually could not care less. Whatever you think is the bottom of what you could care, I'm way beneath that. I'm caring about Dino Kuhmola today. I'm interested in him. I'm interested in that Frankfurt side. Mario Götze, Hugo Ekitike, Larson, Robin Koch at centre back. those are the people that should be the only people of interest for Spurs players this season. That's as Spurs fans right now. I don't care about Thomas Frank. I don't care about Iriola. I don't care about Marco Silva, Oliver Glasner, Javi, Thiago Motta. Hell, I don't care about anyone that you want as a manager next season. I care about Frankfurt. That's all I care about today. So I am looking just to kind of skip by these things. So when agents talk, I don't know what's coming out today. It's mostly the media going, oh, Spurs got a big game. They're going to be in the news because of it. Let's start getting things out from some of the people in and around those Spurs players because it will get more clicks. They're farming is what they're doing. They're farming for clicks, likes, interactions, okay? It does my head in. Gibbo, mate, Excel, how are we? It just does my head in. So look, I'm choosing to ignore the comments from the agent. He's doing what he needs to do for his client. If I was a footballer, I'd want my agent to hype me up, especially if I'm a quality of Mickey van der Ven, who's an absolute brilliant player. If he could stay fit a little bit more, that'd be incredible. But he's doing what he should do for his client. So for me, fine. I'm going to take no notice of it, though. I hope you guys, to be honest, take a little bit of no notice. Take some if you want, but be more focused on the things that matter most. That's Frankfurt. By the time I finish this live, it'll be about 7 hours to kick off, and I can't wait for it. I honestly I'm still so hyped after yesterday's video. Yesterday, I went on a tirade of positivity and a hype up speech that I came off of it going, I feel like that was a bit intense. I haven't left that mode. I'm still there. I'm still thinking about the game tonight, and that's all I really care about. So look, on Mickey, it is what it is. Let's not think about what he says too much. I'm expecting Radu Dragic's agent to realise that he's being outdone by another agent, so he's probably going to say something soon. That would be so typical if Radu Dragic's agent said something. I think he's probably realised that he's going to be out for a while. Every now and then I'm going to have to say something to keep his name in the news. But yeah, take no notice of it. Try and live in the now and not for the future. Destiny Udogie's going bloody nowhere. Mickey van der Ven's going bloody nowhere. I don't care if he thinks he's good enough to play for Real Madrid, Tottenham, Netherlands, or hell, I don't care if he's even good enough to play for your Sunday league team. 6 aside. Don't care. He's a Tottenham player who's going nowhere right now. I mean, how long does Mickey have on his contract? Should we have a look? Van der Ven. If chance, there we go. Right, Mickey van der Ven has a 4-year contract still. He's expiring in the summer of 2029. It's irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant. Romero's a conversation. Mickey's going bloody nowhere. We can forget about that one. But anyway, the game tonight. Frankfurt tonight. I am really, really pumped for this game. I hope you guys are too, The amount of people like, yourself, Steve, obviously going to be waking up to watch it on the other side of the earth. There's so many people that, have been in contact with me saying, mate, I'm up at 2 a.m. to watch this game. I'm up at 4 a.m. to watch this game. I've set 4 or 5 alarms. These are people on the other side of the world. These aren't people in England. These aren't people in London, in Newcastle, in Manchester, Bristol. These are people on the other side of the earth. And they're like, mate, I'm waking up in the middle of the night where it's pitch black outside to support my football club. I love that energy. More football fans need to follow that kind of energy, in my opinion. I love it. I think they're as good as any supporter you can find. Even I'd say better than match-going fans, to be honest. Because they're on the other side of the earth. They don't need to wake up at 2 a.m. They could wake up in the morning and catch the highlights. No, they're screwing their sleep schedule just to watch Tottenham. I love that. So the game tonight, I hope those players recognize, hey, do you know what? We're going to have people watching all over the world at all types of times in the day. Let's put on a show. And that's what I want. I want them to put on a show tonight. There's talk about, there's people digging out the fact that the club saying, why are they asking us to be loud in the stadium? We always are. We demand good football. It's like, I think it goes a little bit hand in hand. They'll play harder and better if you're shouting, and obviously if they play better, you're going to shout that a little bit more. But sometimes, maybe you're going through a flow of the game and you're struggling, and you give them a G up. And if you play Football Manager, you always select a little bit of a fire up option. Sometimes the fans doing that can really fire up a team. Now I watched PSG yesterday against Villa. They were 1-0 down. Villa had scabbed a goal, basically, right? PSG were phenomenal yesterday. And the fans did not stop. Absolutely causing a real hostile atmosphere. It was every time Villa on the ball, whistles, the players press that little bit harder. Every time they're on the attack, they scream that little bit louder. And before you know it, Desiree Doué rockets in an absolute belter and they win the game 3-1 in the end. You know, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I appreciate it, Steve. Appreciate that. So look, there's that. But the fans do deserve to have something to shout about. I mean, look at that. Steve, 5 a.m. Perrin's up for 5 a.m. Aussie Ange hater, which is Nathan, isn't it? It's let me double check that on Discord. It was Nathan, wasn't it? Tell me if I'm wrong. But 4:30. These are people on the other side of the earth going, I've got work after this game. They might be going to work in an absolute miserable mood, but they do it anyway. They do it because they're supporting the club. I love it. I love it, you know. So look, I'm hoping they do that for you. But tonight is massive. It's massive for a lot of those players' futures as well. It's not just about, you know, the club as well, for themselves. You know, some of them are going to be moving on in the summer. They want to put themselves in the best shop window to get themselves the best move. You know, make most money. This is a career. It's their job. But there's a thumbs up. You will. That's for the Aussies and the people on the other side of the earth waking up at God knows what hour in the morning. So fair play to you, every one of you. There's another one. Treat yourself. But honestly, those players today, I want them to come out. Europa League theme song plays, which is an absolute banger of a song, by the way. I absolutely love it. It plays. I'm like, yeah, you know, shake hands, you know, take a team picture if you need to. All that nonsense of European nights. As soon as that ball rolls, red arrows. I want to see that energy that they had for Southampton, right, at the weekend, that first half. I want that again. I want Frankfurt to go, holy crap, what the hell is this? You know, we play Bayern and we play teams like that. They're going to press us high, like Leverkusen. This is the same thing. This is 60,000 fans on us. You know, every time we touch the ball, they're on us. You know, Christian Romero has just sent Ekatike flying in a good challenge, obviously. You can't get past Mickey Van de Ven. He's so quick. Who's this guy? You know, Vicario, we whip all these crosses in, and Vicario's he's venom. He's everywhere. You know, look how Bentancur really is a good player. I want Frankfurt to recognise league position is something. I don't think the league position truly reflects this season. I think partly probably does, yeah, obviously, but not all of it. Like I said, before all the injuries, we were 3 points off second. We were sixth in the league. Had all the injuries and then it fell apart. But when we were 3 points behind, second, back in October, 2 months into the season. That Spurs team that was that period of our season, give that to me again. Because I genuinely think if that Spurs team turns up, the one that we saw the first half of Southampton, you know, for the first 2-3 months of the season, I think you beat Frankfurt tonight. I really do. This is a full squad. I expect a good performance. I do. Yeah, full squad today. No one is back from injury in Kev, Kulu, and Radu, but everyone is fit and healthy to go. Every one of them. You know, I want players to run themselves into the ground and go, I need to be subbed off because I've absolutely emptied the gas tank. If they do that, no Spurs fan's going to be annoyed. Now, there's going to be Spurs fans going, I can't believe he's subbing this guy. I love that guy. He should stay on the pitch more. And realizing, oh, you know what? That guy's probably the manager and they have more data on players than we do. Maybe let's just see what happens and judge at the end of the game. Because I tell you what, we've had a few substitutions recently that we've all gone, oh, that's a bit weird. And those substitutions have come on to do stuff. Pape, Chelsea was the only one that gave a damn. Odegaard wins the ball back. Tell scores the penalty. Just saying. Just saying. There's some form from some of those players. They've played well recently. Need to keep it going. I cannot stress enough. I think this is a harder tie than the semi-finals on paper. Now, things can change. You could get some injuries and, let's say Lazio just hit some almighty godlike form. Maybe in Bodo Glimt, Bodo Glimt can knock out Lazio. You never know. In reality, you are 3 wins away from winning the Europa League. Okay, you might need to win more than 3. I get that, and maybe you've got a couple of draws, and you might need to get a result here and there. But you are in theory 3 good wins away from winning the Europa League. That's all it is, and that's not bad. You don't have to win 3 in a row. You're winning 3 of 5. Really isn't that mental. It really is not that mental. When you really deep it, you put it down on paper and you sort of look at it. It's not mental. But you still have to go there and you still have to apply. Application is the biggest thing when it comes to football. It comes to sport. It comes to, if you ever watch a rugby game, and you watch the NFL, you watch the NBA, it's application. Things aren't going your way. Your shot's not falling. Maybe a couple of your passes have gone a bit astray. Okay, well, I'm going to run myself into the ground. I'm going to make this person work harder. But if I'm not going to play well, I'm going to make that person work harder. So I can't wait. I'm absolutely buzzing for this game tonight. I expect a pretty strong team out tonight. Something similar to the weekend, I would say. I think Destiny comes back in. Again, a guy, he's not played in a week. He's going to be somewhat fit. I'd get him back in the team. What they do at right wing. Are they going to go with Jono? Are they going to go with Odebear? That's a fascinating conversation to have. Midfield, I think, speaks for itself right now. The only one that might give you a question mark is Pape. But the midfield, I think, is what you see is what you get. I think defensively, the spine of it being Vic, Mickey, and Kuti, they'll all be playing. And at right back, we'll sort of see. But a part of me feels like we need to be leading at halftime. That's the only thing that I was thinking about yesterday after the video. This morning I was at the gym and I was thinking about it. I was like, I feel like we need to be winning at halftime. Give the fans something to hold on to, Give the fans something to shout about from that. Even if you're not playing great, but you're 1-0 up or you're 2-1. You've given them something to cheer about. You've given them something to be excited about, obviously, having scored. They'll hold on to that. They'll continue with that, Chris at 3 a.m. Bloody hell, mate. Fair play. Good effort. Welcome to the Aussie. Nathan, welcome to the membership club. I don't have a squash to cheers you, my friend, but welcome to the membership club. You absolute bloody legend. I think there's some stickers. There's some stickers and there's obviously membership videos, so do enjoy it, my friend. Man United 3-0, Man City 4-0 performances would be nice, but a 5-0 would be perfection. Of course, Steve, of course. Who do I think will shine for us? Lucas Bergvall. There's something about inexperience in youth where they know no better. They don't get intimidated by a big game because they know no better. They treat it like every other game. But what you're really hoping for is Christian Romero. It's Heung-Min Son, the guys who have played in huge games, who played in finals, who have, in Romero's case, won. Well, actually, Son's won a trophy as well. But they have obviously won things internationally. Stepping up and going, follow me here. I know what it takes. Follow me. That's what they're part of that leadership group. I want to see that leadership on display today. I want to see fiery. I want to, we score a goal, right? Let's say it's anyone. I want to see fist pump into the crowd. I want to see them basically in the crowd, getting the fans hyped as anything. Getting the wall super pumped up. Morning round table, how are we? Bodo Glimt to dark horses for you. Oh, interesting. Frankfurt try and cut in the crowd. Yeah, but see Johnson coming off the bench, as that's when he's best coming off the bench with the pace that he has. Maddison too, if he puts his stamp on the game, I think we win. I've been really on it with Maddison. This season, when we've had Europa League games, and obviously we've had quite a bit of success in the Europa League, we've won a lot of games. He's been a really massive part in our success. They're going to press us high. Maddison spins away from a press, or he wins you a foul and relieves that pressure. That's going to be needed again today. We're going to need him to get on the ball. You need him. Now, watching yesterday, he's a different position midfielder. We're watching Vitinha for PSG just dictate tempo. He's the architect. He's not going to score 12 goals a season. He's not going to get you 12 assists. He's going to get the ball at the right time, at the right moment to the guys that are going to do those things. Maddison can give you that output whilst also being a bit of an architect. They're two different players, so I'm not comparing them. I'm just in theory, getting your foot on the ball, dictating tempo, spinning away from a tackle, finding like Bergvall in space. The amount of times our success this season has come from someone spun away from a press. They found Kulu in the gap. Kulu's got 20 yards of space on him. He drives. Same thing with Lucas. Seeing Lucas drive is going to be massive. Maybe, James, maybe. Has someone ever stepped up? Just prove all wrong. Ange silent critics. You might even get the crowd singing the Ange song. Well, we'll see about that. They're for difficulties, and it's that thing. It's, Heung-Min Son, maybe it's not even Sonny to score today, but just consistently whipping in dangerous crosses, consistently making those Frankfurt players panic at the back going, here comes another cross. We need to be up for this. And it's things like, Slanky. God, we need to worry about Slanky. Oh, maybe it's Johnson at the back post. Oh, his movement's great. And you just sort of see Maddison and Bergvall sort of trot in and go, cut it back to me. I'll have it. Let's have a dig. It's those things, having players with a positive mindset. I'm going to get the ball. I'm going to run at my player. I might even lose it from time to time. But guess what? I'm going to pick the ball up. I'm going to run at him again. Pick the ball up, run at him again. Oh, I can't wait. I think we win as well, Nathan. I think we win as well, mate. I really, really do. I've got a good vibe about tonight. So yeah, just a heads up. We may be live after the game. I may be too much asleep to really do it. It's a bit late for me. I go to bed at like 10:30. So the game finishing at about 10 is a bit late for me, but we'll sort of see. If we are going live, there won't be a half-hour shout-out. Check after the game, have a quick look, see if I've prepared a video or anything that says that I'm going live. We will be there, obviously. I've just become I'd tell Lasso we're playing wrong. You've got to play through. Good Lord. If you had to make combined 11, I like Kevin Trapp. I do, but he's not fit. So I'm going to go Vic. I just think Spurs back four would be the way I'd go. I'd have Hugo Larsson in the midfield. Skahiri, I quite like Skahiri holding mids. Maybe I'll go him and Larsson, and let's go Maddison for the time being. But you could go Bergvall. Ekatike. Do I want to put Mario Götze in there? I feel like I do want to put Mario Götze in there. I don't know why. Let's say Mario, just because of vibes. We'll put Mario. Let's put Son in there. There you go. We'll go with those ones. I think it's quite balanced. I think it's probably 6-5 us. Thumbs up for that. Just bring your squash for a cheers after the game. We will be there. This glass here, this one, you can hear it's glass. That will have a squash in if we win. If we don't, it won't have a squash in it. It'll have bleach. No, I'm joking. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon, guys. I will be hopefully back in about 9 hours' time to talk about Spurs winning in the first leg. I would love that. But thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. Go and enjoy the rest of your afternoons, evenings, and mornings wherever in the world. If you're an Aussie or you're that side of the world, go to bed, and I'll hopefully see you later. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Peace.